Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode in our single player world. I know I said we were going to be doing the Hobbit Village last episode, and I did plan on it, until I came into here and I felt like, you know what, I want to do something that I've waited so long to do. A lot of people have been asking me, and I think it's about time that I do this. The title's probably suggesting exactly what we're going to do, but we are going to be fixing up the stables that I absolutely butchered. I think it was episode 7 or something. I tried. They just they just didn't come out the way I'd planned. So what we are going to do is we're going to rewrite this story. This story of these stables. I mean, they really don't do much. I really am not a big fan of this stable. So I thought it would be good to maybe do some ruined stables, and I think this is an easy way to ruin some stables. Let's check. I mean, you know what? In fact, this is probably an improvement to these stables already. But I want to make these stables into a new story. Pretend these stables have burnt down. They once were here holding on horses, but right now they are going to become ruins. And I think that'll be a really cool little thing. I've actually I don't want the fire. I just want these things to burn, please. Okay, that's going to hurt. There we go. Good. Perfect. I don't want this place to burn down because else the trees are going to set on fire. We could actually have that could actually be a very big problem. But yes, we'll be getting back to the Hobbit Village in, Hobbiton, sorry, in the next episode. For now, I think it's about time we get this task done. Look at that. That's this is actually a bit of fun, just blowing stuff up. Now that we've got all the gunpowder that we need. So, what my plan is for this, because I feel like it could easily be a very boring project as well, just making ruined stables. So I've got some ideas of what I think would be really, really cool for it. Now, this could be a bad idea, what I'm about to do. Oh, no. 1, 2. These could send each of them onto their own direction. Okay, good. Good. What I was really hoping was that wasn't going to go flick off into the distance. Perfect. Alright, so I've got a few cool ideas for this, and I want to test them out. So, last time I did a ruined village, I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I'll just do another loop over these things. And my skills with my ender pearls have been lacking recently. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to get rid of all this stuff, of course, and then I want to come back, because I've done one of these before, a ruined village in my last world, and I thought it was a really cool idea. Everyone actually seemed to really, really like it, and it was a different sort of build, because you're building something to be not built. You're building it to be broken, and it's sort of weird to do that, so here we're going from the other end, where we actually are going to be breaking something. And I think that's going to help us out a lot, because right now we've got all the stuff here. I'm just going to take this down to practically, let's have a look, more or less this sort of level here. And we're going to have like a few of the supports still standing. Most of it's going to be gone. And then what also means we've got the ability to add a lot more interesting details to this, because right now having just a plain stable, you can put a lot of stuff in, but having a burnt down stable, that's a bit more interesting, because you can have all the stuff you would normally have in a stable. And some more. And that's why I think it'll be a very, very cool thing. So, let me just gather this up. I think this is going to take me a few minutes probably to just tear down most of it. Probably should have done that from the start instead of blowing it up. Or I can just blow it up and save myself time. But that's what I'm going to do quickly, and I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. This is a pretty cool little design I got going on here. Look at that. They work so well together. That's the black concrete powder and some blocks of coal. I thought that looked really, really cool. I don't know why I was messing around with it, but I just thought it would be fun to mess around with. I want to use that at some point. That was pretty cool. And I'll also put one of these here because I'm pretty sure I got rid of it. So, let me show you what we got going on here. I've destroyed a lot of this land. And let's have a look from up the top here. You can't see it at all. It's kind of just there. Yeah, that's good. In fact, what's really looking pretty good is the path blocks that were there from the beginning. So, that's looking... I reckon that's alright. These ruins are a good height. And now what I want to do is I want to go through all of these pieces here. And I've actually just got rid of the stuff out of my inventory, so I think I should have some spruce logs in here. First things first is I want to just make this look a little bit more realistic. So if I go here, some of that there, and that should be alright. Down here as well, just to fill this up. Fill these in, make it look like they large, massive logs that are just kind of poking out of the ground. Kind of that. That'll be alright. Stuff like that. And then, of course, I've got to do all of them. But I'll get onto that. So the next thing that I want to do will be to add in a few little details, which obviously is where the blocks of coal are going to come in. And I'm not too sure how these are actually going to look. That was not the button I wanted. That is the button I wanted. And I'm not too sure how they're actually going to look. So if we put in some coal, for instance, let's go over here. Let's just see what it looks like. Yeah, I don't know how well this is going to look, but perhaps putting them in here and there might not be too bad. They're just very, very dark. But they might still have the... give the illusion, I guess, of this place being burnt. We put a few more around here. Just in case. Yeah, you know what? I reckon these could work. I reckon they could work. Let me just do that there. One more in on this side. Over here. Perfect. Then my next plan, and this is probably going to be one of the cooler ones as well, is I thought about what happens once this... because how long has this been here? Why is this actually burnt down? That's another good question. And I was thinking it's been burnt down for a while. In my mind, I'm thinking this was burnt down from either... I've got to make up my mind about this. Either it was burnt down on purpose by an opposing enemy force from that direction, or it just burnt down by a freak accident, and it's been a long time. That's why we don't see any horses around these parts. These were the only horses in the area, and yeah, there's no horses left. So I thought about if I did make this kind of fresh, it would be really good to have a bunch of particles coming out, like smoke particles coming through, and I'm really looking forward to doing a burnt down spot where I can do that. Like, for instance, maybe, obviously it wouldn't be this one, but maybe another one. Another sort of thing. Not necessarily stables, but I reckon that could be kind of cool. Just having smoke particles coming through. Oh, man. It's going to be really, really awesome. I don't need those, but I do want these. And this is why I was saying it's been a while. If we can have some vegetation growing over the sides, stuff like this could look really, really cool. As if it actually is now formed into ruins. It has formed into ruins. So if we do that there, a bit of that, and a bit of that down there. So, yes, if I sound very, very hoarse, by the way, guys, I've kind of almost lost my voice today, so let's hope we can get through the whole episode without me having to stop. But I think we're going to be doing alright, so let's do that there, and a bit over here, and a little bit over here. I think that's going to work, yeah. That's going to look really, really cool. Just something a little bit different, I don't know, I thought it was a nice little touch, maybe some of these. Do I have gravel? Got that, I got that. Do I have any gravel? I should have some gravel in one of these. The problem is I'm going through this stuff so quickly. Sand, coal. How do I not have any gravel? Let me quickly find some gravel. We have gravel. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is put in a few of these things here. So if we can actually... I want to try another thing out as well while we do this. But I want to put in some... of the gravel to look like a bit of rubble. And do I have any... Actually, yeah, I think there I do. Some of these. Perfect. All right. So this can sometimes look very, very weird when it reloads. So I'm going to give this a try, and I may have to change it. But I don't want the gravel to be on the correct level. I want this to be sort of pulled into the ground, or maybe a half slab. So I know if you could do something like this, I think it's this height. Do this. No. This. You get a half slab of gravel. But when I log out and log back in, it'll stop jumping. See how it jumps every now and then? It should stop jumping, but sometimes that can also look very, very weird. So if I do something like that, pull out that, do another one there. And there, yep, a half slab of gravel. The only other problem with this is you actually walk into it. So you can see I'm in the block because it's currently an entity. So it's not really very good for it. I guess it's probably less ideal that it's an entity, but sadly that's the only way we can do it right now. So something like that. That could be kind of cool. In fact, this one I could even just make into a normal cobblestone slab and just texture it up. These are the sorts of things I'm thinking are going to be really, really cool to it. Maybe a few more vines, some things like that. That's going to look really, really good. So we're going to go quickly here, and I want to quickly just show you where we're at. That's the main village. That's the lighthouse, the wizard tower, and over here are the ruins. And I think I still want to make a little bit of a path going from there to there. I've got a very good idea for that, and eventually we will get to it. But currently, there's of course no path going there. And in fact, this path is going to continue on to that building over there, which I don't actually know if I've shown you guys that, so we'll have a look at that now. But this is the final way that I've done these ruins over here. I've even put in a little bit of diorite. I was hoping it was going to look a little bit like ash, but I don't know. It's all right. It'll work. It'll work. It actually doesn't look too bad there. Of course, the vines. We've got a few dark oak wood logs instead of the spruce. And I actually reckon they could be pretty cool just in general in building. Look at them next to each other. That's a really good combination. I want to use that in a future build for sure. So that's pretty much all I wanted to do here. It's definitely the best way to fix these things. They're definitely better than what they were before. They're better now that they're ruined, which is great. So this thing over here, let me quickly just show you. This is the inn, which I haven't actually completed just yet. It's been a relatively long project, just messing around with different ideas on it, and it's coming along. Look at this. So we've got the inside here, going up some stairs, and it's all pretty much planned out. It's just a matter of adding in a few more details around the place, and it should look good. So a room here, another room over. Can I close that, please? Another room over here, and there should be 3 rooms. One, two. I could have sworn there were 3 rooms. Maybe I've. Oh yeah, there we go. Right there. 3 bedrooms in this place, and I've obviously still got to do quite a bit of interior stuff here, but I think this is a pretty cool little project, just in case someone hasn't seen it, because of course this is one of the stream projects. So it's definitely a cool little thing. So now that we've finished off the first task that I had for today, I think it's about time we show you some work that I've done outside of this area, and also go ahead and finish a bit of that up as well. Alright, so any guesses on where we are? If you guys do not know this area, I'll quickly show you what this looks like, because we don't actually go through past this very, very often. And if you may have missed the one episode, you will never see it, and be kind of surprised. Ignore the beacon, by the way. The beacon's just because of what I did underneath. But besides that, look at that. This building's actually looking pretty cool out in the middle of the ocean. Nothing else around it. I thought it's going pretty good. We actually have to hide this portal at some stage. Make it look a little bit more pretty. But this, if you don't know what it is the flower farm. This is actually the only spot here in 1500... Oh, dang it. Within 1500 blocks of either direction of spawn. All 4 directions. This is the only flower forest biome that we have. There's one actually just out of it, which I mentioned a few episodes ago, which actually is significantly better than this one. But sadly, this is what I did, and we're gonna have to sit up with this one, which is a bit too small. But I've got a head, and I've got the storage hooked up for this thing. Look at this. This is looking pretty good. I've had to slow this down a little bit just so that the hoppers don't get overrun. But, oh, apparently I am stuck in here. This is not too interesting where I'm in. Good, we're out of it. So, down the bottom here, I'll show you what's going on. I've got some stairs that are eventually now going to be prettied up. And we've got all the storage we'll need. And in fact, I found out recently that this is a bit too much storage, because this farm doesn't get any of the tulips. It only gets some red tulips occasionally. Besides that, apparently, I'm not too sure. Maybe someone can actually confirm this. But apparently, you can't have all of the flowers growing in the same spot. Apparently, certain flowers just won't grow on certain blocks. Like, I didn't know that was a thing. I thought in the flower forest biome, every kind of flower that could spawn in the flower forest biome would grow from bone meal again. Apparently not. So that's a little bit surprising, but not a problem. So over here, we've got ourselves the poppy. What was those? Those aren't poppies. What are those? Alliums. My apologies. They're the poppies. There's some seeds, dandelions. We got azure bluettes, and over here's going to be where the red tulips eventually land. So that's the way this is set up, and I'll show you what it looks like from the other side as well. In fact, where's that? Let's get that. This will be a lot easier for me to get up here. Just a little bit of a tour of it, and then we're going to get into what we're going to be doing for this area after this. So let me go up here. Okay, so pretty much what we left off, this was a while ago actually, there is a hopper minecart which goes around and collects all of the items. Really? Every time. It goes around and collects all of the items that we need, so it is currently just above this. I just can't get a view of it. That's not a problem. But pretty much that comes over here. You can see the items come through here. They get shot out, pushed along this stream. See that? All the way along there. All the way around here, and then eventually get caught up in this system here. So the way these systems work, because a lot of people aren't familiar with it, we get these items shot against this block over here. So you see the block being the chest? It allows these items to get stuck in between these 2 blocks here. So they got the speed of the compressed ice, or what is it? What is it actually called? Packed ice. and then they also have the ability to get picked up on that block there. So that is why, as soon as they go over these filters, they get picked up immediately. And then, as for the filters, I'm not going to explain that too much, but pretty much, when the filter gets enough items in, it'll let one through all the time. So, do not worry. If you guys do not want to know about this filter system, it is, I'm pretty sure, the Impulse Item Filter. Just Google that. You should find a bunch of knowledge on it. You can see it actually working here. So you can see every time there's seeds going through there, that's off right there. You should see some of these switch on soon enough. And that's pretty much the way it goes. So what I want to do is, today, I want to get this area looking a little bit prettier than what it's looking like right now. So that'll be putting on a roof to this part over here, getting this part over here working as well, which is going to be interesting when we put the roof on. So we're going to have to work that out. And also putting up the sides here, which shouldn't be too much work. So I want to get going on this to start off with. And I need to find where I've put in that concrete powder that I had. Because I want to give that idea that I had, the little checkerboard thing. May as well give that a go. I didn't plan on it, but you know what? We may as well. And there's a cave under there as well. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try this out. And I'll be right back. Alright, so before I forget, I have not hooked up these ones over here. You can see we've got each of these full, which operate like this. That one should turn on, I think. Oh, wait, this one here turns on. You can see we haven't got them picking up stuff, so I can actually just walk in, collect all of those. And that is a little bit of a problem, but we should be able to figure that one out pretty easy. It's just a matter of me hooking this into the system, because these are eventually going to go into that same system. So there already are 4 more of these things. So we're only going to be missing out on, I'm thinking it's going to be probably about, let me actually check. I can count. I know exactly how many flowers are. In fact, we'll go down there now, once I finish this. But yeah, pretty much what I wanted to show you guys here was that I had to do these, and I think the only way that I'm going to get this to work, like, let me just try one of those others up that end there. I'll just switch all of them on. Let's just see. Okay, they all tend to be falling relatively well. I don't think I've turned that one on, unless I've broken something. Be one there, right? Oh no, it'll be that one there. Yeah, this one here must be broken. Okay, so I've got a bit of fixing to do. That's not a problem. So, this is what I'm saying. I have to go and get these connected, and I'll probably have to put in, because did you see how some of them were stuck out there? I need to put in a bit of glass here, so we might have to do a bit of remodeling, but that's not a big problem. So, downstairs here, I didn't manage to get everything done, and I think it's because, well, I know why it's because, but I think, it looks pretty ugly because obviously I've used some ugly blocks. And I just wanted to get this area to a state which at least it doesn't have water coming into it if I break anything. And I got that all done. But because my voice is obviously kind of on a little bit of an edge right now, I thought it would be better off if I leave this for another day to actually show you guys a bit of detail and stuff. Because of course, that's actually fairly simple. I was going to do something along the lines of this. I guess I could just do that quickly. But I was going to do something along these lines here. Just try and create a somewhat interesting pattern. The only issue is that we've got an even number here. That was the only problem that we had. But I guess we could get around it with something like this, maybe like that, I guess. Yeah, I didn't really think that far, but yeah, pretty much I thought it would be a good idea to just keep the voice going for a little bit longer, because I can feel if I carry on speaking for much longer, I might not have my voice for the next day. Also, by the way, guys, I recently have been updating you guys on streams because we had a stream which I was not able to make it out to. So I gave you guys a bit of notice in advance on Twitter. So if you guys aren't on Twitter, definitely get on Twitter if you want to follow up on some of the outside of YouTube news and stuff. Yeah, this is not going to work. I'll have to work that out. That's not a problem. So where was I up to? I was up to that one there, or that one there. So we go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we've got 6 flowers which we can't get. That's actually a lot. In fact, I think I've accounted for orchids, so we can maybe cancel one of those, because you could never get orchids growing in here. That's 5 flowers which we can't get growing. I think it's oxeye daisies and a few others, but that is really horrible. And of course, I've still got to do the sides here, but I thought I'd just leave them. As I say, it probably is the smarter move for me. So next episode, we should be getting onto a bit more Hobbit stuff, which I did say I'll do in this episode, but of course, we did not do it. But I'm very glad with the stables being done. There's definitely a good improvement and a pretty build for this episode as well, which is pretty damn good. So for today, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Bye, guys.